What is going on, people? It is Rio back on your screens. Now today I'm reporting from sunny Malta in the Mediterranean, and I'm going to be dropping some absolute sauce for you to get in the best shape of your life. Now this video is about 20 minutes long of me talking. If you can't sit through a 20-minute long video of me giving you the absolute ins and outs on how to get in the best shape of your life, then you're probably not ready for the change anyway. So if you don't think you can do it, then you might as well leave the video now, save yourself the time. But for the ones that are serious, keep watching and pay attention, because this is going to be good. Boys, in today's video, I've got something special for you. I have got for you my exact blueprint that I used to lose 40 kg and do this transformation. I was that guy, overweight, unconfident, hated myself, working a dead-end job, drove an average car, lived in a horrible area, to being shredded, in shape, so much confidence, loved myself, not in an egotistical way, but in a way that I was proud of, because I've come so far and I worked so damn hard for it. So I'm going to share with you in today's video the exact blueprint that I used and everything that I learned across my whole 10 years of fat loss to make sure that you can do a transformation like this efficiently, keep the fat off, and continue to build muscle while you've got high energy and live a long, fulfilling life. So before we get into it, I want to remove some people out of this video already. Like, if you're just here for a quick fix, you're not really willing to change your mindset or your habits, you eat like shit and you think it's okay, you think you just got to tweak a couple of things, and you're not really willing to change your bad habits, then you can leave the video now. Save yourself the time. Doesn't matter to me, honestly. I'm the one that's in shape. I'm the one that's done it, and I know exactly how you should do it too. Like, if you're willing to just kind of stay out of shape and unhappy, which is fine. Like, for a lot of people, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, they are content with their physique, and if that's you, fine. Honestly, like, if you want to stay that way, then it doesn't bother me at all. But if you are here and you've lost weight before in the past, you've given it everything and you just haven't seen the results, if you want to feel confident in your body again and just kind of be free from the anxieties around your physique, what you see in the mirror, like when you're going down to the beach and you're taking your top off, like if you just want to feel healthy, fit and happy, this video is for you. I'm going to teach you exactly how to keep the fat off, to continue to build muscle and just feel high energy all the time, feeling good about yourself. This is the video for you. So the 8 main pillars to getting jacked. Yeah, there's 8. Broken up into recovery and training. I'm going to share with you after this the 3 main ones that you need to unlock, and the ones that I push the most onto my clients. The minute that they unlock these 3, everything else becomes easier and they start getting results straight away. So under recovery, you've got nutrient density, protein intake, hydration, and sleep optimization. Then training, you've got progressive overload, intensity and execution, exercise selection, and fatigue management. So first of all, before we get into this, and I'm going to show you the main 3 that you need to unlock, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. So first of all, I was this guy here when I first started taking this seriously. I was overweight in school, got bullied, and I actually left 6th form early to get a job because I just didn't like school. It wasn't a fun time for me. So I thought, I'm going to get a job. Job I got was terrible. I was sat in front of a screen all day, not moving, and I wasn't happy. So what did I do? As I always did, I turned to food for my happiness. That then got me to 120 kilos, my heaviest ever weight. So then what did I do? I was unhappy after eating all this food and being out of shape and not liking what I see in the mirror. So I decided I'm going to do keto. If you don't know what keto is basically when you remove all carbs from your diet and your body then gets its energy from your fat stores and the fat that you consume. So this works wonders. Look, it worked. I lost 3 stone in 3 months. It's about 20 kg, which is pretty good. But obviously you can't not eat carbs forever, especially optimally. If you want to gain muscle, you can't not eat carbs. It's just not how it works. So what happened? I then put all the weight back on. Of course you did. So then what happened? I was unhappy for a bit more. So I then decided I'm going to start kickboxing. Now, I loved kickboxing. It was so fun. I used to do it with my mates, and I like martial arts because you'll never be the best. Like, there's always something to improve on. So I did martial arts for a bit, really enjoyed it, lost like 15 kg. But then my mates stopped going and the gym got a bit shit, and then I just wasn't really enjoying it anymore. So then I left, And then I went through a little process of like trying a little side hustle where I lost a load of money. And then again, what did I do? I turned to the food to make me happier until we got to here. Obviously, this isn't as bad as here, but it's still very much out of shape. I've got the man boobs going, a little bit of belly. So then I decided I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to get ripped for the first time in my life. And I had a lad's holiday coming up, so I thought, perfect. So I then lost 12 kg in 3 months, which led me to the best shape I'd been in ever. Like, I was super confident here. First time in my life that I actually wasn't like thinking about what other people were thinking about me when I took my top off at the beach. Like, being on holiday as well, that was a big fucking moment, boys. It was really big and I really enjoyed it. So then what did I do? Stupidly, I thought, I want to get even jacked. I want to get even bigger. So I decided to do a dirty bulk. God forbid you ever do a dirty bulk. It is the worst decision you could ever make. I gained 30 kg in 6 months. Yeah. Look, don't get me wrong. I put on a lot of muscle in that time, but the trade-off just wasn't worth it, boys. Don't do it. Like, it was fun for me at the time because I just got to eat like shit all the time and just consume anything I wanted. But it came at the cost of getting fat. And look, I put on 30 kg in 6 months. So I then thought, cool, I'll just get shredded, go on a diet, I'll lose all the weight. I did, in fact, lose all the weight. And I got to here. This is the best physique that I've ever had. I'm still in this shape to this day. But it took me triple the amount of time to lose the weight as it did to put on the weight. That just shows you enough that it is not worth it, boys. If I had 18 months, well, no, not even that. If I had 24 months to get into this shape, I could have done it in half the time from this shape here. Yeah. But it took me double the amount of time because I decided to do a dirty bulk. So take it from me, boys. Do not do a dirty bulk. It is not worth it. So getting into it. The first most important thing when it comes to training is progressive overload. Progressive overload basically means every time you get in the gym, you want to be moving more weight or doing more reps than what you previously did on that exercise. It is the single most important thing that you can do in the gym. If the weight stays the same, then so are you. You're basically giving your body a reason to change. Like, if you come into the gym, let's say, and you do 50 kilos on bench, yeah? The next week you come back and you go 52 kilos on bench. Your body is this efficient machine that's lazy. It doesn't want to grow. It doesn't want to do anything. So what is it going to do? It's going to go, right, I didn't enjoy doing 52 kg. That was hard. It was a lot of stress on my body. I'm now going to put on a little bit more muscle so the next time I come back, I'm stronger at the exercise. So what happens? Your body puts on muscle, you come back, boom, you're stronger. So then what do? You then make it even heavier. So then you just keep repeating this more and more over time until you're looking like this guy, yeah? But do not get it twisted. More is not more. Better is more. What I mean by that is you need to be able to manage your fatigue. Now, fatigue is going to prevent you from gaining muscle. If you're basically doing like a bro split where you're doing like a chest day where you're doing like 15 exercises, you're not a bodybuilder, yeah? You're not on steroids. You don't have the facilities inside your body to recover from that amount of volume. So what you need to do is you need to find just enough volume and intensity to then grow muscle and recover overnight, but then not too much where you can't. Yeah. So I'd say maybe do two or three sets per exercise 2 times a week. I'd say that's pretty good. Like, for a smaller muscle, you might do a bit more. For a bigger muscle, you might do a bit less. But that's what I mean by better is more. Higher quality volume is going to be better than just more volume. Next is intensity, execution, and exercise selection. Now, what you need to do with this is pick smart exercises. That means you need to pick an exercise that you know you're going to be able to progress long term. If you're constantly changing your workouts, you're not really going to give your body a reason to grow. So if you can find an exercise that's stable, you haven't got to use other muscles to then keep it still and stabilize it. If you can then find an exercise that keeps that muscle targeted and then you can progress it over time, you're on the money, yeah? But you want to make it as hard as possible. So to do that, I like to add in tempos and pauses. So I'd add 3 seconds into the stretch, pause in the stretch, 1 second up in the contraction, and then pause in the contraction. If you then keep that the same, you know that you're never going to be able to put on too much weight to a point where you're then going to have to get other muscles in to help you move the weight. Yeah. So that means you standardize the form. So once you've picked an exercise, you've got the form right, that's your base. You now lock that in and it does not change at all. Yeah. And then from there, you progress over time. And then intensity, that then comes from how hard you're going to push in that set. Your muscle understands the stimulus, not the load. Like you could do a couple pussy ass fairy reps with a load of weight, but is that muscle going to get targeted? Probably not. If you're then really dialing in your execution of that exercise and you're able to push hard while still keeping under all these lists, then your body's going to understand the stimulus more than the load. So protein, this is the second key pillar. Yeah, if you can unlock protein and dial it in, you're onto another winner. Protein is the most important macronutrient when it comes to building muscle and losing weight, because it is what you are going to use to recover and build muscle, through protein synthesis. So you want to aim for 0.8 to 1 gram per pound or per pound of target body weight. Basically, if you're like a 250-pound guy and you want to get to 200 pounds, you set your protein goal at 200 pounds, because protein is only used for recovery, nothing else. It isn't the primary source of energy. Energy mainly comes from carbs. You can use protein as energy, but it's also going to take longer to digest, and you might as well make up the excess calories from your carbs. This is why protein is subjective to your goal. If you're in a bulking phase, you want to prioritize energy consumption, which basically means carbs. So protein is going to sit in your stomach, it's going to bloat you out a bit, it's going to take longer to digest. So instead of that, you then prioritize carbs. So if you're in a bulking phase, I would then just find just enough protein to recover and grow overnight, and then make up the rest of the calories from carbohydrates. Yeah. But in a cutting context, it's very different. In a cutting context, you're going to be very hungry. We know this. Yeah. So you can then utilize protein by consuming a little bit more just to keep you fuller, because it's going to digest slower. Okay. Secondly, carbs and fats. Now, carbs are the second most important macronutrient. Carbs aren't the enemy, you are. You just don't know how to control yourself when it comes to carbs because they're so easily consumable. Yeah. But too much carbs will make you fat, and too little carbs will make you fat. Now, what I mean by that is if you eat too many carbs, it's going to get stored as extra fat because you don't need the excess energy. But if you eat too little carbs, then by the time you get to the end of your goal, because you can't perform in the gym because you're reducing your carbs by too much, you're then probably going to lose a bit of muscle, and your muscles are going to be flat. So you're going to get this like kind of wet, soft look where you don't really look in shape. Whereas here, I was prioritizing my carbs even in a fat loss phase because I unlocked self-control around carbs rather than protein. I knew that if I can eat just enough protein to recover, but then enough carbs to help me perform and stay full in the gym, then you unlock a look like this. But this is also very hard to do. If you're coming from a place like I was, I didn't have much self-control around food. So then it can be a little bit of a risky one if you're trying to lose weight, because we all know what our self-control is like around food. Secondly, fats. Fats are essential, just period. They're like, you need fats to survive. Fats regulate your hormones, your brain runs off fats. Fats are super important. So don't just completely remove fats out your diet, but make sure you're having the right fats. Yeah, you can have dark chocolate, olive oil, avocados, nuts, like all of these are good. You want to basically stay away from your saturated, refined fats, like processed food, stuff like that. That's going to do nothing for your body. It's going to cause inflammation. It's going to make you bloat. You're just not going to feel good. But fats regulate your hormones and determine how you feel. So if you've ever done a diet or an extreme diet and by the end of it you're just in the bin, it's probably because you cut your fats too low to a point where you just don't really feel like yourself. So don't be scared of them, and especially if you're a female. We all know that females have more hormone fluctuations and they are going to rely on your fats. So please don't skimp out on your fats. Just learn to unlock more self-control, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. Right, next one, hydration. Why is hydration so important? You hear a lot of talk about hydration from coaches and people online, but I feel like not a lot of people really know why it is so important. So hydration will improve your training performance. It will improve nutrient partitioning, which basically means the nutrients that you eat from the nutrient-dense foods that you eat are going to get transferred into your muscles through water. So if you haven't got that water there, they're going to have a harder time getting there. Also, in a cutting context, we mistake hunger for thirst. So I tell you 9 times out of 10, if you're ever really hungry in a cutting phase, if you drink like a big liter of water, tell me you're hungry after that. I guarantee you were probably just a little bit dehydrated. Yeah. It maintains energy because dehydration is a killer. It also supports recovery. It prevents scale fluctuations. Like when you're super dehydrated, your body almost goes into this kind of survival mode where it will basically then hold on to excess water because it doesn't feel like it's going to get any more water. So it's going to make sure that you don't die, basically. So to counteract that, consume 3 to 4 liters per day. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Next, and boys, this is the third and final key pillar: sleep. I could not reiterate how important sleep is. You don't grow muscle inside the gym, or you don't lose fat inside the gym. You lose it in bed while you are asleep. Please, please, please make this top of priority when it comes to recovery, because this is going to do all of the work for you. Yeah. Bad sleep increases ghrelin and decreases leptin. Ghrelin is basically the hormone that tells you that you're hungry, and leptin is the hormone that tells you that you're full. So you're going to increase your ghrelin, so your body's going to basically feel more hungry, and you're going to decrease your full hormone, which is leptin, so you're going to feel not as full all the time. So this is going to make cutting a whole lot harder. It also supports hormone production and mainly testosterone. Yeah. You ever find a guy that feels tired all the time and doesn't really sleep? He's probably got pretty low testosterone, which is not what we want. Testosterone is going to help you in all aspects of life. Yeah. You grow in bed, not in the gym. Yeah. When your body is recovering, it happens while you sleep, while your hormones are being supported and your nutrients are being transferred into your muscle. You then grow while you rest, and same for fat loss. Yeah. It also then reduces fatigue and increases your energy. So you're going to feel better in the gym. You're going to feel better in life. You're going to have more energy throughout the day, which is also a key problem when it comes to cutting, is low energy and fatigue. So to optimize your sleep, these are the main things that I use. I reduce my screen time before bed by an hour, or I use red light glasses to basically block out blue light. I use a blackout sleep mask, which I find is super, super, super helpful. I always used to struggle with sleep as well. So I found by just putting a black sleep mask over my eyes like that, if I've got nothing to look at, I'm just going straight to bed. Earplugs in, reduce all noise, and then sometimes if you want to use a bit of mouth tape, if you're like into looks maxing and stuff, you want to like get your maxilla popping, whatever. I don't really care about that. But it does also help with not snoring, which is also then long term going to lead to like sleep apnea, which is going to give you a proper hard time. And trust me, that's something that you don't want. You don't want to be sleeping with a tube attached to your face all night long. We're not bodybuilders here. Yeah, we're here to get in shape and stay in shape and look like this guy. Yeah, this guy's a fucking beast. So now I've shared with you the 8 main pillars and then the 3 core pillars that you need to unlock straight away to start seeing results. But why are we not seeing results? I'm sure a lot of you knew a lot of this information that I just gave you. I did too, and I've known it for a long time. Like I went years without seeing substantial results, and it's because I didn't have structure. Yeah. If I knew I had to do all this stuff, but I didn't know how to put it into place and work it around my life, I was just never going to stick with it long term. And I suffered with that for years. So why aren't you seeing the results? It comes down to mindset. And mindset is the hardest thing to unlock out of all of this. You've basically got yourself now, version 1.0, unconfident, unhealthy, unhappy, just generally not in a good position. Out there, somewhere, is version 2.0. Yeah. This person is fit, healthy, happy, in shape, confident, just a general high performing human being. Yeah. The only difference between these two people is the way that you think. Yeah. If you are you now and you're not happy in your position, what you have to do is think like that 2.0 version of yourself. That 2.0 version of yourself is going to know what the best decision is for you in this moment. So that's exactly what I did. When I was at my unhappiest and unhealthiest, I decided, right, if I want to get in shape, I'm just going to start thinking like the person that I want to become. That person knew, if I want to get in shape and have all the answers, I'm going to work with someone that has the answers for me. So then what did I do? I worked with a coach and I lost all the weight in a year. Yeah. So you've got to adopt the identity and it will become your lifestyle. So basically, every time you think, oh, what should I be doing here? You just think, what would that person be doing? That is what it is. But it's not as easy as that, because then you have to rely on yourself for the accountability. And I know from my past experience, I never worked like that. So what I have for you in the description is a link to my calendar where you can book on a one-to-one call with me. No pressure at all. Look, I'm only here to work with people that are serious about getting in shape and actually want to make a change to their life. So if you're not serious and you're not interested, then please save yourself the time and me. But if you are serious and you want results, like Ryan here, who lost 4 kg in this time, yeah? Only 4 kg, but you can see the clear difference in muscle gain. Here, he was out of shape. He still had a little bit of muscle, but here, he's only 4 kg lighter, yet shredded with abs, clear definition between his muscles, feeling good. In that time, he actually built muscle while losing fat. Or if you want results like Max, Max was in the worst position of his life, yeah? He then come to me and he said, bro, I want to do what you do. So I then gave him the 3 pillars first. Then we moved on to the 8 pillars. We got the structure. We unlocked the mindset. And now Max lives in constant shape, feeling good about himself. He's building muscle. He's got high energy. He's just a high performing male. He's now got a new job. He's earning more money. He's driving a better car. Like, this guy has unlocked it all in 5 months. The program was set for 6 months and he did it in 5, and he's now living his dream life. And that is what I can offer to you. So if you look in the description now, there'll be a link. In that link, you can then book on a one-to-one call with me where I want to basically sit down with you and map out how we are going to get you into the best shape of your life. So if that interests you, hit the link in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and I'll catch you boys in the next video. Stay safe now.